The next market crash is coming. Are you ready? Welcome back everyone, my name's Paul. If you've never seen me before, I've recently started investing and I make a lot of mistakes. Apologies for the audio quality right now. I'm kind of going through some construction in my house and I've been relegated to this room. Everything is everything is a little bit messy. Even though I've only been investing probably 6 or 7 months, I've made a lot of mistakes in that time. I'm not actually talking about my strategy or my stock picking or anything. That's kind of going as expected. But today I've stressed a lot about making this video. I've been trying to think of different ways to make new returns, keep up with everybody else's returns, and then try to protect myself from the crash. I can see things like the market consolidating again, getting ready for the next big up or down. Instead of sticking with my own strategy, should I have invested in Tesla or NIO or Amazon? Will the US government announce a new stimulus package before the world collapses on July 31st? Am I missing out on 100% returns on Boohoo right now? Did Warren Buffett just buy oil and gas pipelines in a renewable boom? My head is absolutely blagged with pages of fiscal stimulus graphs, and I'm watching loads of YouTube clickbait videos that are telling me that I'm going to lose all my money next month. And then at the end of the video, they say, well, no one can really predict the market. And you're left sitting there going, why the fuck did I just watch that? Why the fuck did I just sit there and scare the shit out of myself for 30 minutes for you to tell me at the end that there's nothing I can do about it anyway? They say yes, a market crash will happen again. They say it could be next month, it could be in 5 years. We know that. History is pretty fucking clear on it. Seriously, I think my head's gonna explode. And this week I took loads of time to look into Berkshire and Dominion's energy deal. I took time to look at Boohoo because someone asked about it. And I reckon I had about 30 minutes to an hour of this stuff. And really, it's all pretty useless to me. I won't waste it. It is quite important news and there are some important talking points. But I'll condense it down to like 2 or 3 minutes. First, my opinion on Dominion. Warren Buffett's company Berkshire Hathaway bought a load of pipes off a company called Dominion for about 10 million. Dominion wanted the pipes gone because they want to reset themselves as a renewable energy company. And with this big deal, they've reset their dividend and started a new share buyback program. This is largely a middle finger to all of Dominion's shareholders, and the share price showed it. At first, it looks like Berkshire has bought an oil asset because it doesn't know how to do anything else. Lots of oil companies do try to build new pipelines, but regulation gets in the way. By buying this, it seems that Berkshire thinks it's bought a moat, which is one of Warren Buffett's main principles. However, you do have to question whether the deal is good for the long term. Berkshire has bought some stuff off Dominion that it no longer needs. And you've got to question whether the world needs it either. It's kind of like buying that second-hand rowing machine off Facebook. The dude on Facebook is selling it because it was a stupid purchase. And now you're paying money to move that rowing machine from being his problem to your problem. You're probably going to use it for a while, but eventually it's just going to take up space. And that's how I see this deal going. Unless Berkshire Energy has a way of making these pipes hydrogen proof, it's kind of buying an out-of-date asset. It feels a bit like Occidental all over again. And there's a good chance that in a few years you might see those pipes on an episode of Storage Hunters, along with a load of other old tat. Also this week, Boohoo got caught up in a slavery scandal. I'll go through this really quickly. In my opinion, Boohoo is a very good growth company, and it was before the crash. You were going to make 100% returns on your investment. Right now, as a growth investor, you have to consider 2 things. Is modern slavery part of Boohoo's business model? Probably not. It's likely that this is just one supplier that's been a bit naughty, and Boohoo's success has mainly come from high revenues, not low overheads. And secondly, do you think Boohoo's customer base will actually care? Probably not. They just want to get their hands on some cheap snakeskin joggers. And while I'm doing all that this week, Rishi starts to hand out free Nandos vouchers, and I've got to figure out if that's going to save the FTSE 100. So I'm considering this whole week to be a mistake that I've got to learn from. I've allowed myself to do exactly what I shouldn't have and get too specific on short-term news. Investing is a long-term process. If I'm worried about the market crashing on July 31st, then I'm going to be worried about it on August 31st. Yeah, investing in ETFs and indexes right now is pretty scary. You've got Ray Dalio predicting the next 10 years are going to be worthless. You've got Warren Buffett still sitting on the sidelines because he can. And you've got hedge funds shorting everything. Meanwhile, millions of millennials are worrying if Tesla or NIO are eventually going to top. Everyone is fucking stressing. And this is my mistake, being drawn in by all the stories and all the clickbait. I started out with a plan, and part of that plan was that stocks don't always go up. They also go down and sideways, maybe for decades. I decided against ETFs and indexes primarily for that reason, and I decided to create my own little ETF on Trading 212. This is so I could avoid fees and have a little bit of liquidity if I ever felt like it. It's basically a savings account, not a get-rich-quick scheme. The idea is that I believe that these companies have a great margin of safety that can weather any storm. And my preparation for the next crash, whether it's next week or in 10 years, is not to sell. It's to prepare my mind for the potential onslaught of unrealized losses, maybe for years. What I need to be able to do is trust these companies that I've bought into, and for the majority of the time, forget about it. Because I have a life. I like to play hockey and climb and dick about with my kid. I don't want to have my nose in balance sheets all the time. I have to do some research, but the majority of investing should be passive and not take over my life. I do find investing and finance interesting and fun. Bit weird, but I think we need to have a look around now and start calling out some of the bullshit, because we don't need the stress. Thanks very much for watching, guys. I'm sorry that was a bit preachy, but I just wasted a week of my life on absolute shit, and investing is a lot more than that. Feel free to tell me that I'm full of shit and I've been contradictive in the past. That's fine. I know I have. And don't forget to get involved in the Discord, where generally everyone seems to have a similar mindset. The app I use is Trading 212. If you sign up through the link in the description below, you get a free share and one of my subscribers gets a free share. And if you enjoyed my little rant, please feel free to like, subscribe and invest.
Cost fucking average.